Wonder Woman doesn't put her hair in a ponytail and put glasses on.
No, that's exactly what she does. It's going to be in it. What's it going to tie into?
So bottom line, Shazam, Fury of the Gods is fire. It's straight fire.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Collective Comics and the Lights Comics Action Podcast. We're diving into episode number 24.
Oh, man.
Here, I almost said 23. I almost messed it
didn't
up.
even think about the number until you were about to say it. I'm like, I don't know a number.
I was like thinking about it as I'm rambling through this intro here.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm joined by the homie Jake.
Hey, guys.
AKA the best DJ in the world, Jungle J.
I need to get back to it.
Definitely.
I don't
miss
know.
the streams.
I do too, man.
I miss the streams.
I was
They were a good
painting
time.
before this. Under this sweatshirt, I'm probably covered in paint, but we'll see. We'll see. The basement's coming soon. We're what? 1 minute in, and I already said we'll see. So this is gonna be a good podcast.
We just start a counter.
Yeah.
Start a counter now. The one we'll see. There's two. Man, this thing is being weird today. I can't get it to straighten up. There we go. I think I got it. Jinx, you owe me a soda.
Alrighty.
Well, man, we went sausage jam.
Yeah.
Sausage
I
jam.
jam sausage all the time. Let's go into Shazam a little bit.
A little bit.
Oh, first of all, this is spoiler. This is a spoiler podcast. Let's get that out of the way because we're pretty bad at it.
Yeah.
We usually say spoilers like halfway through the podcast.
We need like a big alert button. Spoiler, you know.
So there will be spoilers in this episode if you haven't seen Shazam, which it sounds like most of the country hasn't yet.
Clearly.
Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit and what we think might be the cause of that. But yeah, we went to a different theater this time.
We did.
First, we missed Shazam, and there's a point on that as to why it might not have done as good. But Shazam was coming out, and I'm like, dude, I called you. I'm like, dude, Shazam comes out tomorrow. What are we gonna do about the podcast?
Yeah, we were like, really?
Yeah.
And I was like, I knew it was coming out, but I just didn't think it was this soon.
I didn't know when it was exactly, but so it caught us off guard a little bit. But we took this as an opportunity to go check out the other theater that we talked about when we saw Ant-Man, because we had such a bad experience during Ant-Man. If you ever heard that podcast, go check that out because there's a whole story.
Yeah, and it wasn't necessarily about the movie that made it a bad experience. It was nothing with the movie. It's the theater.
It was the theater and the people in it.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Nothing with the movie. I liked the movie. But yeah, so we checked out a new theater. I was very confused when I walked in because I'm used to walking in, showing somebody my phone, going to the concession stand and grabbing my stuff and going to sit down.
Yeah, they do things a little different.
Yeah, I didn't. Well, I also got Bosco sticks, which is just breadsticks with cheese in them. If you don't know what a Bosco stick is, I'm like, I can walk into a gas station and grab some Bosco sticks. And I'm like, when do I get my Bosco sticks? Where do I pick them up at? And they're like, oh, we deliver them to you. I'm like, all right, that seems like a lot for Bosco sticks, but I guess I paid like $10 for them or whatever, so I might as well get the delivery. I don't think it was 10, but it was expensive for Bosco sticks.
Yeah.
But the theater was cool. Other than that, other than like the little confusion walking in and stuff.
They have every single seat in this theater is a recliner.
Yeah.
So it's like sitting in a lazy boy.
Except for the couches.
Yeah. And those are even cooler.
The cuddle couch, I think they call it.
I think they did. But yeah, they come with like little ottomans that are in front of them and everything. So it makes for a really good experience. It's Imagine Theater. Imagine with an E.
Yeah, Imagine. Yeah,
Imagine.
Yeah, pretty much.
Imagine Theater.
But the theater was really cool, and this led to a little bit more confusion going and finding our theater.
Right. I don't know. I don't still have my ticket. I wish I did, because you pre-bought your ticket, and I was like, I'll just buy it when I get there. Bought the ticket when I get there. Chose the seat next to you, and it said Shazam on it. So I look at it. I'm looking for the number for the theater. Right.
Yeah.
It says 2.
Right.
So we go get our popcorn, and then we're like, okay, there's theater number 2 over here to the left. We walk in this thing, and we're like, yeah. I was like, I don't think we're running that late. You know,
because the movie was already playing.
Yeah, the movie was supposed to start at 9:15. It was like 9:16 when we're going to sit down. You know, so we were pretty on time. I was like, I didn't think we were running late. You know,
like, did they not have previews? Like, what is happening?
Yeah, I was really confused. And then we continued to go to try to find our seat. And realized, like, we picked row F, which is supposed to be in the middle of the theater. We walk all the way to the back of the theater, and the last row is row F. And we're like, something's not right here.
I'm starting to feel some type of way at this point, because I'm like, what is happening?
I know. We're like, what is going on? So we look over at the screen, and it's Shazam.
Yeah.
Just full blown into an action scene.
Yeah. I'm like, bro, this seems like the end.
Yeah, we're like, we're in the wrong theater.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't think we are. So we walk out. I look at my ticket, and I was like, oh, Shazam 2, Theater 14.
Which is like on the whole other side of the whole place.
So instead of going left, I should have went right down that set of hallways, and the theater was right there.
Right.
And it was actually like, the room that we were in was like twice the size of the other theater.
Huge, yeah.
It was awesome. And it was empty.
It was pretty empty. I mean, 30 people in that place would have been empty. You know what I mean? That was a big theater.
It was.
I just thought it was crazy because we made a full loop in the theater that we walked into. We're like walked in, up the stairs, through entire row F, down the other stairs, and back out. And
right in front of everybody. Everybody saw us like interrupt the movie and everything.
It's like the heartfelt moment at the end. It's like, who are these guys?
Oh my god! Look, where did they come from?
Yeah.
You know, I didn't see them leave.
But this turned out not to be the end of our adventures of the evening either.
No,
leaving.
Oh gosh,
leaving.
I know what you're bringing up.
Yeah, I didn't know I was ahead of you. I thought you were ahead of me for some reason.
Okay.
But I was driving, and I'm driving down. It's a pretty main road with stores on both sides, and all of a sudden an ambulance is coming at me. So I stop and I pull off to the side. The ambulance is going really slow at me. And I'm like, what is he doing? Like, he's obviously not in a hurry. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then he like turns in. I'm like, okay, I'm going to start going a little bit because he's not on the road anymore, but he's like taking his time. So I don't want to be in the way either if somebody else comes.
Yeah.
So I'm driving real slow, and I'll look at where the ambulance went, and the whole building's on fire.
What was it? Was a furniture place, right?
Apparently it was like a furniture and mattress store. So when I drove by, like, it was like a storefront with all windows in the front.
Yeah.
And basically in the windows, it was all just fire inside the windows. Like they had some fire deals or something going on.
Yeah.
But the thing was, it was on fire, and I was like tripping. And then the next day I woke up and I'm like, I wonder like if there's anything in the news or I can find anything about it. And I sent it to you. And then you told me you were behind me.
Yeah.
So it was way different apparently when you went through.
Way different. and I watched you leave, and I was just waiting for my car to kind of warm up so the heat started coming out.
Yeah.
And then so it only took 2 minutes. I was 2 or 3 minutes behind you. And if that's what you saw and it was on the inside of the building.
Yeah, it was definitely on the inside when I drove by.
Yeah. There was one cop standing outside of the parking lot, like clearly didn't want to get close to the fire and like get his car close to it. That's all I saw was his lights, and he was dead stopped, and I see it like through dust. And I'm like, what is going on over here? And then I just see all this black smoke going up like crazy. And I'm like, what the heck? I was like, something blew up. Something's on fire. And then what I saw, if you saw it on the inside, no, dude, it was out the windows, going up the whole side of the building, just like engulfing it. There was no fire trucks yet.
Wow.
There was maybe one fire truck. I think it was an ambulance. It's probably the ambulance that you saw.
Yeah.
And I was like, there was one little truck not doing anything. And I'm like, I passed 3 cops that passed me going the opposite direction.
Wow.
So I was like, what is going on? I almost called like 911 because I was like, what is going on? But I saw the one cop.
Yeah, that's how I felt too. I was like, should I do something? Like, but like the ambulance had just pulled in, so I'm like, I hope they have it under control. Like they're the people I would call. You know what I mean? Like, who am I gonna call? They're here.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? But I saw the one cop kind of sitting there. So I'm making my way up to the smoke, and this is still like 20, 30 feet ahead. So it's just going up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm starting to see the top of the flames through the trees and stuff like that. And then I really get close. And this is when the black smoke, dude, it took over the whole street.
Dang.
Like, because it was, if I was going, it's so weird to say this like for the audio listeners and for the,
Yeah.
but if I was going east,
Yeah, I'm horrible with that kind of stuff.
right.
Yeah.
If I was going east, the wind was blowing it south. So I kind of had to get through it for about 50 feet.
Oh, wow.
60 feet.
Yeah, when I drove through, it was completely clear. Like, I could see everything. I looked
dude.
to the left. There's a fire in a store. I'm like, what the heck? I was trying to, like, I was, like, kind of, like, I was driving slow, so I was kind of, like, trying to get a picture of it because I was talking to my wife on the phone, and I was like, I'm just going to drive, and, like,
Yeah.
like, I'll
honestly,
worry about pictures some other time.
Thankfully you did, because when I got through this, I was like, okay, I have to go through the smoke.
Yeah.
You know, or else I'm not gonna. Where am I gonna go? I have to. This is like the next road until the main highway that takes me home.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
yeah. That's real. I mean, unless you figure your way through back streets, it's the way to go. Like, that's the way.
Yeah.
This is
and
the way.
right. And I think even the back streets, I still had to pass it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So, regardless, I kind of had to go through it. I start kind of freaking out because I'm like, my air intake is going to suck up this smoke. Dude, when you've obviously probably driven in fog.
Yeah.
In pretty bad fog to the point where you probably had to stop, right?
Yeah.
Well, I was driving through this fog and it was so black, dude. Like, you couldn't see anything. There was no light coming through this smoke. There was nothing. All right, so after some technical difficulties, we are back. We are back. I was just getting into the fire that we saw in this furniture store and that I had to drive through this smoke. And I was kind of describing the smoke that it was so black that like you couldn't see any light through it. And I was, every 10 feet was a street lamp.
Yeah.
You know,
Because through there is just street light after street light after street light.
yeah, it's a pretty main road. It's a very busy road. All the parking lot lights, you couldn't see nothing, dude.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't see nothing. It was like pitch black to the point where I thought I was going to have to stop because I couldn't see where I was going. But then I started freaking out like, my car is going to suck up this smoke and just destroy my car. That would be, dude, if that would have happened, that would be the second motor I went through on this car. That would have been the second
time
motor.
to get rid of it.
Yeah, like the first time it was a few years ago and it was a puddle. So now it's like first it's water and now it's fire.
Right.
You know, like I'm never going to get insured.
It'd be a cursed car at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of started freaking out and then I quickly made my way through it and I was like so relieved that I got through it as quick as I did because I was scared.
It's crazy because like I said, it was like clear when I drove through, and I was only a couple minutes ahead of you. But even when I drove through, like, you know how like when you have the air on and it takes the air outside and blows it through your car and blah blah. Like,
yeah.
My car smelled like fire for like 15 minutes.
Dude,
like, I couldn't even imagine.
It reeked. It wasn't
was
like a
bad.
bonfire. It wasn't nothing like that. It was like
mine was kind of like bonfire-y.
Yeah, no, mine was like chemical burning, like burning plastic, like red Solo cups.
Yeah, like mattresses and furniture.
Yeah, dude, it was. You could smell like the insulation in between the mattresses burning or something.
Man,
it was disgusting. It was so bad, and I was like, I think I rolled up my window because I keep it cracked a little bit. I rolled up my window and I could smell it. So I think it got into my car through my vents.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm pretty sure like it was actually smoke shooting through my vents. You know, unless it was just that much black smoke against my windshield. But dude, it was. If you put your hand against it, all I would have saw was the print of your hand.
Dang, yeah, It was crazy because like I said, I looked it up on like Instagram and Googled it to see like if I could see what happened or where it was.
Yeah.
And like I saw the pictures and I didn't recognize it at all because of how small. Well, not small. It was fairly big when I drove by, but like nothing compared to what you saw.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't think this is the same place because it was only inside. And you're like, yeah, that's what it looked like when I drove by. I was like, dang.
Yeah, dude. I mean, within a matter of minutes.
Yeah,
you know, it was just done, and I'm like, that is crazy, dude. And like I said, there was no fire trucks there when I drove by. There was the one ambulance that you saw, so it wasn't that I wasn't that far behind.
And cops running, the cops were running away.
Yeah, the other way.
So bottom line, Shazam Fury of the Gods is fire. It's straight fire.
Oh, dude, it's awesome.
I liked it.
Right.
General feelings on it. How do you feel about the movie itself?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, given the circumstances that we were all kind of given going into it.
Right, yeah.
You know, with who's going to be in it, what's it going to tie into, this, that, and the other.
Right. That's kind of how I felt too. Mm-hmm. I had actually never seen the first one, and we usually shoot on Tuesdays.
Yep.
So I had no plans on Tuesday, which is we saw it Tuesday night. And so I just took the time that we usually shoot. I just watched the first one. So I watched the first one during the day, and then at night we went and saw a second one. And I feel like everybody talked about how bad the first one was, but I thought it was good. And now that like I was looking up stuff about this one, and everybody's like, it's not as good as the first one. I'm like, I thought you guys didn't like the first one. I don't know.
Right? Yeah, I thought the first one sucked.
But as far as both of them go, like I think they're. I've heard people talking about it compared to like Ant-Man, which makes sense because Ant-Man's like just came out.
Mm-hmm. It's also kind of the same type of vibe.
Yeah. That's what I was just gonna say. It's very like similar to Ant-Man for me. Like
on a comedic.
It's not like level. It's not like, oh my god, this action movie's so great. It's this superhero movie is also a comedy. They do superhero stuff. Like I like that stuff.
I mean, all these adults have to act like kids.
Yeah.
While they're, trying to be a superhero at the same time. So I think it's really funny. I loved the little girl in the purple suit.
Yeah, I don't remember their names.
I don't remember her name either.
I remember Freddie and Billy.
Right, yeah. Me too. Me too.
And I think the older girl is Mary, which brings up a whole nother point. But what were you going to say about the girl, the younger girl?
She was my favorite as she was like transformed after she said Shazam and she was an adult.
Oh yeah,
because she was still like a 6-year-old or a 10-year-old on the inside. So it was just hilarious. Oh, kitty, you know, and it was just like.
Well, that's Megan Good too. Megan Good is amazing.
Really?
Yeah, Megan Good is dope.
I don't know who she is.
I've seen some stuff with her, and she was actually just on Good Mythical Morning. I don't know if anybody watched that.
That's the adult, not okay.
But yeah, Megan Good. I probably would have forgot her name if she wasn't just on Good Mythical Morning.
Really? We watch a lot of podcasts. We're fans of podcasts here.
But overall, I thought it was a pretty decent movie.
I thought it was really, really good. Spoilers, we said it. It tied in more than I thought it was going to.
Yeah.
Way more.
Well, I wanna leave on the note like I liked the movie. That's where I would like to start here because I think we're gonna say a lot of things. We're
gonna say a lot of stuff. Exactly.
Yeah. And like I said before, like taking the movie for what it's worth. This is the movie. The situations and the circumstances around it are what they are. There's nothing you can do about that.
Okay. So pre-discussion about the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Out of 10 stars, what would you give it? Pre-discussion.
Pre-discussion. Mm-hmm. I mean, I have a lot of discussing to do, so I'm going to hold out against it. But
before we get angry,
well, I'm not.
Not that we're gonna get angry, but you know what I'm saying. Before we get an attitude towards it,
I feel like unless you have something that's going to like blow me away with it, I don't think my attitude is going to change too much. Honestly, I don't remember what I gave Ant-Man, and I feel like I gave Ant-Man a 7.
I think it was like a 6.5 or something. It was right there.
I would give this one like a 5. And I think I would almost go 4. And it's not because I don't like the movie.
Okay.
It's just because of, here's what I'm going to say. As far as it being a DC movie in the DC universe and everything going on right now, I almost give it like a 2 or a 3. As far as movie, like as if Shazam 1 and Shazam 2 stood by themselves and didn't have the situations around them, I probably would give it like a 6.
Okay.
So I think that's why I'm like meeting kind of right there, like a 5.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow. Usually we're pretty close.
Yeah.
And I was gonna give it the same like 6.5 or 7 out of 10 because I was like, I felt that it was a very good movie. I felt the actors did a really good job. The only reason I don't think you know what I'm I don't want to say it yet. The ending,
Oh yeah.
is it bumped it up that point for me for sure.
Oh, that did nothing for me.
Oh, that did everything for me.
That did, just because I was
It made me it made me mad. It's making me a little mad, but it also gets me very excited. But it's what they do from here on out.
I think here's the reason why it did nothing for me. We're talking about the Wonder Woman thing.
We're saying it.
We're talking about Wonder Woman.
We're saying it. Spoilers.
This is why it did nothing for me.
Oh,
I don't know if I should stop or keep going.
I'm gonna have a stroke. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna keep going.
Keep going.
This is why it did nothing for me. Because once they were like, only a god can blah, 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 whatever they said, I'm like, Wonder Woman's, yeah, it's Wonder Woman.
That's what I thought too.
Okay, cool. So after all of the reshoots that you talked about, all of the things that you talked about not wanting to get this too close to the other movies, you're just going to put Wonder Woman in it? Why? Like, why did you do that?
Because I mean, she's coming back, yo.
Is she?
There's no way.
Is she?
So they like canceled Wonder Woman 3. Big deal.
Okay.
So Justice Society, Justice League. If there's gonna be a Wonder Woman, she's probably gonna stay Wonder Woman for a good minute.
This is where the whole thing confuses me, because the whole James Gunn thing about all these people are out, we want to do this,
But they never confirmed
right
Gal Gadot.
But
Or Gal
what I'm
Gadot.
saying is they were like, it's not a full reset, but it is kind of blah blah blah. This person's out. This person's out. Jason Momoa is playing this character, so he's not Aquaman. That's out. Everything's out. Flash is going to reset some stuff, but like all this stuff, right? This is going to be the last time we see Ben Affleck. But okay, so why use her there?
That's what I don't know. So I don't know what the why is, and that's what that's the part of me that gets me mad. Because they said they weren't going to.
Yeah.
We knew that this was supposed to happen from the beginning. Mm-hmm. From the announcement and everything else, Wonder Woman's supposed to come somehow into this and start tying things together. And we knew that there was that potential, but then James Gunn released a statement saying that it's probably not going to happen, and they're not going to keep doing this stuff with Justice League. So they're changing things. So he never actually confirmed that she wasn't coming back as Wonder Woman. But kind of tried to say that everything else isn't going to be part of that line anymore.
But weren't there like Ben Affleck reshoots and things that they had to cut out and change because Ben Affleck was supposed to be in this?
I think so, or at least cut it out.
But that's my thing. Like, if you're gonna still put Gal in there, like, why spend the money to do it? Like, you already have the shots, just put them in.
That's and that's where it's like.
Like, did you think taking Batman out of this movie was gonna put you over like the bombing threshold? Like, that's almost the opposite. You know what I mean? That's where I'm confused. I'm not mad that she was in it. Like, whatever, it is a movie, and
I'm very happy she was in it.
But that's I was gonna say I'm not like blown away or happy. It's very neutral for me.
I'm very excited. Because this is the thing that confuses me, and this is where the movie didn't score higher in my head, and probably why it scored a little bit so low for you, is that all this did was raise a bunch of questions for me,
right?
And consistently make me think what they're gonna do, and it's like, do I really want to think that right after watching a movie? You know what I'm saying? And now that's all that's stuck in my head, and it has been for a week now.
Well,
almost.
I think. Well, let's get into it.
Right?
There's a lot of things that are also just questions for me outside of Gal Gadot. It's like cameo or whatever you want to call it. Whatever they do with her is whatever. Like, they could give her a reason why she's not there anymore. They could do this, they could do that, they could do a million things. Mm-hmm. But then we're still getting the people from Suicide Squad and Peacemaker as this, and and Waller's the same, and so, and we're basically,
is Waller the same though?
The same person.
I mean, they insinuated it.
I mean,
but she never actually showed up.
But I mean, when they announced the show, because Waller's getting a show, she's the same Waller, and then and then the girl from Peacemaker was in the end credit scene, and she was in Black Adam, and it just seems so sloppy, and I think this is where I was like, I either want them just to like
cut it off.
This is what's happening. We're changing stuff going forward, or hey, you're gonna see some weird stuff. Like we have a transition period, which I guess the actual DCU doesn't start until the Superman movie.
Yeah.
So I guess it doesn't mean anything. But going back to why this movie potentially didn't do very well is because people had already written it off. Like, all right, this was shot before the announcements. The announcements came out. We know they're changing stuff.
We know they had to reshoot 3 times.
We know that this may never even matter in the DCU moving forward. So why are we going to go see it? Why are we going to spend whatever it costs to go see a movie, to go see this movie, when I can just wait for it to come out on HBO and see it then?
Yeah.
Like, that's, I don't know. I guess I don't know where I'm going with this point, but I guess the bottom of the argument, the bottom of the statement is, this has to be why it did bad, right? Like,
probably
one of the biggest reasons it did bad.
Yeah, and then to go back to this, what James Gunn did say is that Black Adam's not part of this whole DCU.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, it happened in some multiverse.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And now they're going to start, spoiler, bringing in the Justice Society. Because at the end of the movie,
which is from Black Adam.
Yes.
Right.
And Waller controlling the Justice Society and being, or not controlling, but being part of working together with the Justice Society.
Which is straight out of Black Adam.
Yes.
Right.
These are all the same characters that are all tying in with each other. And then, wasn't it at the end of Black Adam, they showed the Justice League standing there, and it was Wonder Woman, Superman, all of them?
At the end of Peacemaker.
That was it. That was it.
Well, at the end of Peacemaker,
it was just like their silhouettes,
which is a shot in the foot for that, because you could see the silhouette of Wonder Woman, you could see the silhouette of Superman, but you actually see Ezra Miller and you actually see Jason Momoa.
Yes.
So immediately tying that Justice League to a Jason Momoa Aquaman, which he's not anymore.
We don't know though.
Well, I guess, yeah, we know he's only going to be playing one character, but we
don't know if he's switching or not yet.
We don't know if it is the Lobo thing that's true or the Aquaman thing.
Yeah, so whatever he comes back as, I mean, Aquaman 3 is already shot. Or 2.
Yeah.
Is it
3? Or 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wonder Woman 3.
Dude, this stuff is so...
Wonder Woman 3, Aquaman 2. Yeah.
Yes, Aquaman 2 is already shot. It's already done. They shot it.
Right.
We have somewhat kind of trailers and stuff like that. So past that point, I'm pretty sure whatever he comes back as, if it's Aquaman, if it's Lobo, then he is staying Aquaman or Lobo.
Here,
from my understanding,
I'm angry now.
Okay, here we go.
It's not about Shazam, Fury of the Gods, but if they do all this and they're like, Aquaman's out, Aquaman's shot already, put it out, whatever, we don't care. Blue Beetle's still coming out, we don't care, just put it out.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't we get Batgirl?
Oh, yeah.
Batgirl was done. Like, why
that was supposed to be the first appearance of Keaton in the Batsuit.
Right. Why didn't we get back and we get a Brendan Fraser Firefly?
Yeah.
That's what I wanted. That's what I was excited about.
I forgot about that.
Like, why are you putting out all these things? Like, it's done. Just put it out on HBO at least. Get something out of it. Get people excited about something.
Yeah.
Give your actors, I don't know. I mean, the actors got paid regardless, but
maybe. I don't know how that stuff works.
Yeah. If they're only getting paid on credits,
right. It's like,
you just wasted your
we
life.
Canceled the movie, so it turns out we don't have to pay you because we're not going to release
Some
it.
loophole.
So we're going to claim bankruptcy on this project and see you later.
But I think that's the thing that I'm most upset about. Like, you didn't want to do this because this wasn't good enough and it wasn't part of this and it wasn't part of that and it wasn't good enough for that, but then you still put out things like Shazam 2. You still put out things like Aquaman 2. You still want to move forward with Blue Beetle 2 with only a few reshoots, and you know what I mean? Like, so why can't I watch Batgirl?
Yeah.
Like, what?
And this is almost making me like scared because I'm a fan of James Gunn. I'm excited for what James Gunn is going to do, but what if I don't like what James Gunn does?
Yeah.
That question is starting to develop in my head, and that has never been a question for me.
To be fair, for me to play both sides like I always do, James Gunn is basically just letting things through. He's got a lever and he's like, nope, nope, yeah. You know what I mean? So we're not going to see the James Gunn stuff start until 2024 with movies.
Yes.
Like, the James Gunn is supposed to officially start with the Superman movie, and then we're going to get like The Brave and the Bold and things like that. So, but just the way that they're moving into it, and I don't know, like Peacemaker 2 seems like such a sketchy thing for me. I mean, I guess I want to like give him benefit of the doubt, and everybody's been mad about this for a while, but I feel like it's worth bringing up the point of like, if you're going to sit here and talk crap on everybody else's projects and do this, and your stuff was this, and your stuff didn't do this, and your stuff was a little loose over here, like your stuff was the same way.
Yeah.
Like, I liked your stuff. I want to see more of your stuff. But if you're going to cancel Titans, you're going to cancel Doom Patrol, you're going to cancel Batgirl, and you're going to cancel this one, and this isn't part of this universe, but it directly ties to your universe that you're going to continue doing, like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
It just because he wants it.
Right.
It's,
I mean,
it's like
the fans want it too, but like if you're going this far with the knife everywhere else.
It almost just kind of seems like he's just trying to pull the it's mine. You know, it's mine and I want it done like a stubborn toddler.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we could also get like a Peacemaker season 2 in before that Superman movie, and then he's like, all right, DCU started, you're not getting another Peacemaker. You know what I mean? We could do something like that. But like, it just kind of gives you a bad taste in your mouth for everything leading up to that. Yeah. It's like, so do I have to watch anything? Like, does anything matter moving forward?
For real. Yeah, especially just because it seems like their safety net is, it didn't, okay, just happened in a multiverse somewhere else. Doesn't exist.
Right. And then the other thing that kind of bothers me is like James Gunn has said Elseworlds will exist, right? Mm-hmm. Elseworlds is fine. We get the Robert Pattinson Batman, or the Batman. We get Joaquin Phoenix Joker. Cool. I'm totally cool with that. But then why can't Snyder stuff move forward in Elseworlds and just be fine? You know what I mean? Why? I don't know. I guess these are.
I think we know why. But
these are all just things that is like. I don't. I'm like a shoot it to me straight kind of dude. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't care about the secrets. I don't care about the special, like, it's cool when you see a person come out of nowhere and they're there, whatever. Mm-hmm. But like, if it doesn't mean anything, like, just be like, hey, until Superman comes out, stuff's going to kind of be all over the place. We want to give you the best movies we can during that time. But it's going to be a little wet and wild around the edges. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's fine. Cool. Mm-hmm. At least you told me. But now it's like, but is it? You know what I mean? Right. I don't care if it is or it isn't. Just tell me, because like, if you told me right now, Shazam 2, everything up until, the Superman movie is just whatever. Mm-hmm. We're not having this conversation. You know what I mean? We'd be like, I know it doesn't matter, and it's not going to matter in 2 years, but the movie was good, and it did what it needed to do, and for an audience member to do anything that it needed to do at the box office,
right? Yeah,
but you know what I mean. It takes that whole level of, like, I mean, I guess we're still talking about it, but I feel like we're talking about it in a negative way just because of choices and the things that we've been told. You know what I mean?
It's all the things that are kind of given to us, and like. How are we? The whole thing on how we kind of supposed to follow this, and I don't know, like with as much stuff as they canceled,
right?
For the reasons why they canceled it,
right?
Why did they make the decisions that they did with this movie? and why did they release this movie?
Yeah.
You know, and that those are the kind of questions that start popping up with the Wonder Woman thing and with the Justice Society and Shazam being part of the Justice Society, because that's going to start tying in Black Adam.
Realistically,
oh, sorry.
Oh, I thought you were done.
Oh, kind of, so that's going to tie in Black Adam, which is going to tie in the fight between Black Adam and Superman.
Yeah.
Which ties in Henry Cavill.
Right.
What are you doing, dude? You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the final point.
Yeah, and realistically, like, they did the whole, like, Wonder Woman scene where you didn't see her face, which is, like, I watched the first Shazam the same day, so it's fresh in my mind. They did the same thing with Superman back in 2019. Mm-hmm. So, okay, that weird cameo makes sense to me. But then you just show her face at the end. Like, you could have just done something else there. Mm-hmm. And
they kept hinting towards it every once in a while throughout the movie. And I was like, she's got to come in. But I'm like, James Gunn said no. And I was like,
did he say
I know,
no?
about a quarter of the way through it, I was like, I don't think he said no. And then I was like thinking about it, and I was like, well, the day before, apparently, Wonder Woman 3 got canceled. Gal Gadot said that she was happy to be returning as Wonder Woman.
There it is.
On Instagram. And that, it like clicked. I was like, oh, because she shot the Wonder Woman thing for Shazam. I was like, and that's where, I think we even said it on the podcast. We're like, why would she release that? Did, like, the director just not tell her, like, hey, guess what? Your movie's canceled. Yeah. Saw you look like an idiot.
Yeah, right.
But no, she didn't look like an idiot. She was still coming in. She knew what she was doing.
Right, yeah.
You know.
But, yeah, I just feel like there's so many... I feel like the way they rolled it out, and also, like, they just put out the whole DC thing a couple months ago, or like a month. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's still really recent. Why not just wait on that until after your movie comes out?
Right?
You know what I mean?
Why not just be like, okay, from this point on, we know that we psyched you up for all this stuff, but guess what?
Well, they did it with Black Adam.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, they could have just let it be until this point, and then now we started releasing everything.
And they could have had a way better plan and way more ironed out. I mean, this is me talking from an ignorant, like, audience member.
Yeah.
They could have it way ironed out in the background, and we're just...
They probably knew what they were doing, and they were like, Ant-Man's coming out. How do we distract everybody from everything else that's supposed to be happening with this Kang thing?
But also another point, if you wanted, maybe they didn't want people to see this, but if you wanted people distracted and they wanted to go see this movie and I didn't see almost any promotion for this movie.
I know.
No promotion.
To the point where we forgot. Yeah.
We almost missed it.
I saw it every once in a while. It was like, okay, maybe once a month I would see a thing on YouTube. Yeah. Because I look up that stuff. I watched all the DC and Marvel things on YouTube, so it's like they kind of target me. Yeah. I feel like a little bit because I get all the Disney Plus, the Mandalore, everything that I watch already pretty much. You know, I'm like, okay. You know, so I saw it once a month. So if they're targeting me and I saw it once a month.
Yeah. I go through like different articles and upcoming releases and stuff for this podcast and never came up. Mm. You know what I mean? Like,
you want to know something crazy?
What's that? We
just passed 47,000 views on YouTube.
There we go.
You know, claps. Right. And if we had $1 for each one of those views, we would have made more money than Shazam.
Okay, I didn't know where you were going with this, but that was pretty good.
But that's the what kind of promotion are they doing? If we can do that on our little YouTube channel, come on, dude, put some money behind it and get the promotion straight away. That's the point that I was trying to make, and pat ourselves on the back because I'm super stoked on 47,000 views. That's awesome.
Hey man, next episode's 25 too. That's
crazy.
That's a quarter of 100.
Dang, dude.
I don't know why I said it like that.
Right. I think tomorrow's pull list makes the 200th video on the channel.
Oh really?
Yes.
Oh damn.
Between shorts and everything.
Oh, I forgot that the pull list had to come out tomorrow.
Yep.
Here we go. Because of the whole Shazam thing, we are behind now because of this podcast.
A little bit, yeah.
We'll get it taken care of.
Right. And then I'll see you again in 2 days to shoot another podcast.
This is episode 25.
Yep.
But yeah, no real promotion as far as I found or saw.
I mean, there was, but it definitely could have been more. It wasn't the Black Adam promotion.
Well, I don't think anything's going to be the Black Adam promotion.
Yeah, but they could have.
Right. And then just the DC announcements were so bad for the timing of this. It was just, I don't think, and let alone the way that people see movies now.
Yeah.
On top of that, just being able to wait a month or two and seeing it at home.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for this podcast, I would have done the same thing. You know what I mean?
We were kind of talking about that on our way into the theater. That we were like, oh, the first Shazam was pre-COVID.
Yeah.
When people still kind of went to the theater and didn't have an excuse not to, almost.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But everything over COVID has kind of changed a lot more towards streaming.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting those movies to HBO and to Netflix and stuff a lot quicker than we were before. So people don't have the problem waiting. So we were kind of thinking about that too. Like, how is that going to affect box office?
Yeah, I almost feel like, well, especially, I don't know if we've talked about this before, but with us coming from music and seeing the thing that happened over there with streaming and album sales, and now streaming has to be factored in and so on and so forth. What we're seeing now with movies almost has to be done the same way. You know what I mean? Like,
they have to figure out a way to get those box office numbers, or not necessarily box office numbers, because the box office is the ticket sale.
Yeah, I just don't know.
That's what they're trying to sell, is the ticket to the thing, but to get it in a way of like, how do these people get on the dollar per stream,
right?
Or whatever it is per stream.
Not even as far as like getting paid, but as far as like tracking the performance of something. Like, they're not gonna, unless they put it out in theaters and on a streaming service the same opening day. Like, they're not gonna be like, unless they have two different numbers for it, they'll be like, box office did this, first day streaming did this. Overall, pretty good performance for the movie.
Yeah, I think
for music release day, you can get a CD, you can pre-order vinyl, you can do all this stuff. So the Shazam, the Spotify, and all those numbers come factored into that. But I don't see them doing the same thing with movies.
Yeah, I think I see one of two things happening if they kind of start doing that. It's either going to kind of help the movies that need the help and that are kind of meant for not so much box office movies, but for more straight to Netflix stuff. And I think that could really help. The thing that would probably end up getting averaged into it is the watch time. Yeah. Because as we know from YouTube, watch time is everything.
Right.
And I feel like if they're going to do that, that's how they're going to have to measure that. And if somebody clicks off of that,
but how do you, if somebody walks out of the theater, you have no
idea.
Yeah,
so that's a ticket sale, so at that point it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect them negatively, but if somebody
be different numbers.
Yeah. So it's like they have to pass like 25% of the movie to be considered like somewhat mediocre. If they left before a quarter of the movie's done, then your movie was trash, type of thing.
Yeah.
I think that's like the
retention,
kind of I think that's the kind of like thing that they'll have to start doing, and I feel like it could really hurt movies, especially movies like Shazam and things like that people are kind of like trying to get into, and then they're like, I'm just gonna watch something else.
Yeah. I just don't know. Like, I think something's going to have to change, I think. You know what I mean? Because they're spending hundreds of millions on these movies, and Black Adam was a flop and it made, 70 million?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's crazy for somebody to say that it flopped with $70 million.
Right.
Like,
but if it didn't even make what it spent, that's that's a flop. And if you're spending, I don't remember what they spent.
You're supposed to like double it.
Right.
And if you didn't double it, then apparently it's a flop, which I'm like, dang.
Yeah. And so what?
You're supposed to make 160 million?
Right. How are you going to do that when people don't even want to go to theaters?
Yeah.
It's crazy. So, which brings me right into the next point. As a DC fan, I don't know how you feel about this next point, but this marks the 5th flop in a row from DC. That's going to exclude Elseworlds. But from the DCEU, we got this one, Black Adam, the second Suicide Squad, Birds of Prey, and Wonder Woman 84. And some of those were direct to streaming because of COVID.
84 was, yeah.
But that's basically where we're at from a DC universe point of view. How does that make you feel as like Marvel sucks, DC's so good? You know what I mean? Because
I like Venom a lot.
Because I mean that has been one of your arguments. That's been one of your arguments this whole time.
It has.
But you always go back to Batman '89. You always, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We talk about Christian Bale Batmans.
Yeah, I could talk about a lot of the old stuff.
To be fair, I really liked Birds of Prey. I thought Suicide Squad 2 was great, especially coming off of the first one.
Did they technically flop?
I think. I mean, they didn't make what they spent. You know what I mean? If that's your monitor of flop or not flop.
Birds of Prey.
Yeah,
I thought that popped.
I thought it was really good.
I thought it was awesome.
But also that was, I'm gonna sit at home and watch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was just glad we didn't get what's his name, Jared Leto back.
Yeah, well,
I didn't like his Joker, dude.
I didn't like him. I didn't like whatever. Yeah, I didn't like him either. That's some people not praise necessarily, but some people really like him in the uncut version of Justice League, and they say like you can connect with his character more and blah blah. But I'm done with Jared Leto. You know what I mean?
I think those people are the 30 Seconds to Mars fans.
Maybe.
I mean, seriously. I mean, it's a good band.
Right.
Can't act. Not that he can't. Not
he was good
Joker.
in Fight Club. He was good in Fight Club.
I actually haven't seen it. I knew it. I was waiting for it.
But that was also in like the 90s. So
yeah,
he's done a lot of things between here and there.
The movie's older than I am.
So yeah, coming from a DCU, not counting like the Batman and Joker, like we said, that's where we're at coming out of like 5 DC movies, going into this new era of DC. I mean, I guess you could look at this 2 ways and be like, they have nowhere to go but up. You know what I mean? But if they don't, they're gonna lose. You know how Marvel had so many good years and then fell off? It's like they're gonna lose people before they even get this ship started. You know what I mean?
And then everybody's gonna come back. I was on the bandwagon.
Yeah. I remember Batman back in '89.
You were born in '98. What?
Let me tell you about this Batman show.
Yeah. I know Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't feel great, especially because I am such a fan of DC, and like that's where my heart is just gonna always automatically go to. You know, when it comes to movies and being a fan of it. If it comes to, you know, like I said, like I always do those kind of like UFC scenarios or like boxing match scenarios where it's like if it was Marvel versus DC, I'm going in DC's corner. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll be back there all day long. But that I didn't know that Birds of Prey flopped. I would have thought that did pretty well. Especially now because I feel like a lot of people have seen it. I don't really rarely ever come across you. I was trying to find my words. I rarely ever come across people that haven't seen Suicide Squad and Birds of Prey and Suicide Squad.
I feel like I've run into a lot of people who never saw the second one because they saw the first one and they were so off put by the first Suicide Squad. Anything that had Suicide Squad on it, they were out. They didn't even care if it was totally disconnected from the first one or not. They're like, the first one was so bad, I'm never seeing a Suicide Squad again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess I can understand that. I didn't think the first Suicide Squad wasn't great, but I didn't think it was as bad as everybody said it was.
I thought the same thing. Especially just because Jared Leto was only in it for such a little bit of time that it wasn't very.
Yeah, it was very dark. That's one of my biggest things. Is like, I mean, it's just so dark. You know
I like that stuff. That's
I mean,
what
I
get excited
like dark
about.
stuff, but it was just like it almost just seemed like, I don't know, like there was just like a thing about how dark it was. Like it was almost like there was no color at all. It was like it was so like could have been in black and white and would have looked the same almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that goes into another thing that I wanted to ask you about this movie, and that's the CGI. How did you feel about the CGI?
I didn't think it was bad. I felt like I heard you say something in the theater.
Yeah, I don't remember what I said. I know exactly the moment
You were like,
I said it.
No, you were like, what's wrong with the CGI? Or you were like, what the heck was that?
I remember at one point when the dragon comes in.
That was it.
I was like, I think they spent all their money on the dragon. They didn't have any money for the rest of the CGI in this movie.
I didn't think it was that bad.
There was one part where they were lifting out of the city and they put the bubble up and then the cars start running into the bubble. I'm like, those are the worst cars I've ever seen. It just looked like toys like running into this bubble. It was almost like anything that interacted with that bubble was like
weird.
So weird. And like almost, and I feel like maybe it was that bubble, like, you know, because they had that effect on the bubble. And I'm not like a great CGI or CG artist, or, you know. I just play one on TV. But it was just, it had to have been something with that bubble because I felt like almost everything that interacted with it looked like a toy.
Dude, there's something with these bubbles that DC's doing, and just like half-assing it, I guess.
The dragon was dope.
Yeah,
the dragon was so cool.
It was like made out of tree branches,
yeah,
dude.
It was wood.
That's what I thought was really cool. I was like, it made me double take it. I looked at it and I was like, huh? And then it like zoomed in on it closer, and I was like, that is tree branch.
Yeah.
That totally does look like bark. I was like, it's supposed to be bark. I was like, what are they doing? You know, I was like, did they make a stone dragon? What are they doing?
Stone dragon.
Yeah. No, they made it out of a tree.
Yeah. Well, the
fire breathing tree.
The tree of whatever.
Forest fire?
No.
Sorry.
The fire that we saw on the way home.
Yeah.
No, the tree that they planted in the baseball stadium, and like I think it was supposed to be like made out of something.
Oh,
that connection between the tree and the dragon. Something.
Okay, I see that.
But yeah, I don't. It was also like all the mythical monsters that came out of like the pods. I couldn't figure it out. Like I was like, that one looks kind of dumb.
I think they were supposed to. Though.
And then it would be on TV, or it would be on TV again. It would be on the screen again. I'm like, oh, that's super cool. Like it actually looks fine. Like
yeah.
But then like it would always change. So I don't know if the effects guys were like, they're like, we need a shot with that monster from the other one. It's like, okay, like
yeah,
there it is. Hopefully it tracks.
I think that's what they wanted. Yeah,
but the unicorns look cool.
That was sick.
Yeah, and the dragon was super cool.
Yeah, I like their little kind of play on unicorns.
Yeah,
and I thought that was super super sick. There was one other thing that I was going to say about it. Now I'm forgetting.
Well, I'm just going to wrap that up while you think about it. It was just funny to me that like all the people are like, Marvel CG is so bad. DC never does bad CG. And I was like, they just sent toy cars into a bubble. I don't know. Like, what do you mean?
I have to like pay attention specifically to the cars next time.
I'm tripping, but we also watched it on a gigantic screen. So like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we saw it on a ginormous screen. It was the IMAX.
Yeah.
Old IMAX. So it was the big screen with
I think
the big
we're going
speakers.
there from now on.
100%. Yeah. Those, whatever subs were in that theater.
It was loud.
Dude. I know, like we were shaking in our seats, like from the vibrations.
My ears were like hurting after that a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm used to like concerts and stuff. I try not to go to them as much anymore because I don't know much hearing I have left.
Right? Yeah, and I'm a drummer, so it was loud.
Yeah. I was like, dang.
Yeah,
but yeah. Do you remember what you were gonna bring up?
I don't remember what I was going to bring up. I really liked it. I think they could have done some things different. The Wonder Woman thing got me really excited because it's like what it gets the question going in my head, like what if James Gunn just decides like, oh yeah, we're going to take this Black Adam thing and just put it back and it's main continuity now.
I wish that
movie was awesome.
I almost wish like they would have done something else. Like I wish Black Adam would have come out after this one, and they use an ending credit scene to like tease Black Adam, and then you get the Black Adam movie, and then you get the interaction Shazam. You get Shazam into Black Adam, and then you get Black Adam into Superman.
Yeah, it was almost kind of like that's what they were trying to. Because in the first one they were like, "Where's that seventh?"
Yeah.
Where's the seventh wizard or the seventh chair or what's the seventh chair for?
Right.
And that's Black Adam's chair.
Right.
So like. That's who that was.
But now, like, the the Black Adam flame has lit and been put out.
Yeah, it's just not The Rock
Oh,
anymore,
oh,
right?
And then there's one other thing, just with like Shazam was like so dumb in this movie, and even Billy, when Billy wasn't Shazam, he wasn't dumb.
I thought the same thing. Yeah. I thought the same thing. That was so funny. I forgot. Yeah,
that was. Yeah, it wasn't Love and Thunder dumb.
No,
but it was just like, it was almost like if Ragnarok Thor and like first movie Thor were like together. You know what I mean?
A little bit. Yeah, it almost seemed like the character Billy, like as a teenager, obviously matured because he's older.
Yeah,
a couple years older or a year older. But it almost seems like him in his superhero form is still the same age.
Right. Yeah.
As he was in the first.
Well, that's another thing that I didn't even catch. Apparently, in the movie, they say 2 years have passed, and I didn't catch that. But it's been 4 years since it's passed. So now the actor that plays Billy is 20 years old. So now he's turning into just another guy. Yeah. It's like this guy is turning into a guy. It's not a kid turning into a guy.
I almost feel kind of bad for him because it's like, you are Shazam, but you will never ever play Shazam.
But this is the other thing, though. So the older sister, I think her name is Mary. Mm-hmm. In the first one, she had a double. In this one, she was her double because she's an adult now.
That's what I thought. I was like, is that her? I was like, or is that somebody that just looks a lot like her?
I had to like go in the theater. I was like, is this the same?
Really?
Like, is this a different person?
Like, I was like, is that her? And I was like, nah.
But apparently the girl who was like the adult Mary or the Shazam Mary or whatever did some problematic posting or something, and they like gave her the boot, and then they're like, yeah, we'll just make Mary her grown-up Mary. But then in this one, my thing is like, Billy is 17. It's a whole storyline in the movie that he's about to turn 18, so the next Shazam should just be Billy turning into Billy, and we're not gonna get the Shazam that we like. That's what I'm confused about. You know what I mean? Like,
and then
more questions.
Yeah, and then so they're on TV, known as the powerful, what do they call them?
I don't remember.
Something powerful. I don't know, Powerful Puffs or something. Powerpuff Girls. I don't know. Yeah, they were calling them something, and they kind of like the city kind of gave them their own little nickname, and they're like, yeah, not official yet, but if you want to call us that, I guess you can. Yeah, yada yada. And they've been on TV multiple times as all of them.
Right.
The mom never saw her daughter on TV looking like, hey.
Oh yeah. Because she didn't change after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, you never put two and two together that that's your daughter? You know, and then she comes home and then still looking the same, just in a white t-shirt now.
That goes back to the Wonder Woman doesn't put her hair in a ponytail and put glasses on.
Right? Yeah. Clark Kent just takes off the glasses and he's Superman.
Yeah. Well, he's like, Wonder Woman doesn't have a job. What do you think she's going to do? Put glasses on and put her hair in a ponytail or whatever and go to a normal job? And
like be an accountant somewhere at something. And
I looked over at you at the movie. I'm like, isn't that what happens? And you're like, yeah.
I was like, that's exactly what she does.
That's what I thought. I was like, did I miss something? Like,
that's so funny. Just for the look over. I remember that moment because I was like, no, that's exactly what she does.
I was like, what did I miss? Like,
nothing.
But I get the joke now. Yeah.
But yeah, man, I like the movie. I think there's some really, really great parts. As a movie in a whole, if it wasn't for the continuity, 8 out of 10. But it rose so many questions for me with Wonder Woman, Shazam, the mom thing, you know, like she just didn't know it. Because I was like, is that the same actress? Yeah. And I'm like, no way. I'm like, it's gotta be. And then like it had me going kind of up until the end a little bit, and I was like, no, it's definitely her. Yeah. And then, you know, obviously I think I said the Wonder Woman thing, but tying in the Justice Society and all this other stuff that I'm like, you could have just like not done this movie.
Yeah.
You know, and we'd be fine, but now like
file it with Batgirl. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, for the reasons that you didn't put the other stuff out are the same reasons you should not have put this one out.
I don't disagree with you. I'm happy it's that. I liked it.
Other than they got to make some money somewhere after all the millions of dollars they spent for nothing.
I feel like this is a movie where like I went in like I usually do, not a lot of like expectations, whatever happens, happens. And I really did like the movie, but then all the questions started for me.
Yeah. So that's what brings me down to like that 6.
And I think the Wonder Woman thing was the trigger too. You know what I mean?
That's the one thing that made me like super happy about it, but
but I feel like it triggered almost all of the questions. You know what I mean? I was like, up until then, I was like, whatever. Like, it is a movie. It's a good movie. And we're laughing, whatever. Yeah. And then they actually put Wonder Woman in it. I was like, well, now what? You know what I mean? Now the whole movie's like ruined for me. Right. It's like, now I don't know what to think. And then they put the Peacemaker Justice Society thing in. I'm like, you had like, it was like 2 hours and 10 minutes. You had like 2 hours of a good movie, and then you threw it all away from me in the last 10 minutes.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to ask questions during a movie. Like,
I thought it was hilarious how he got mad at everybody for burying him. Yeah. He's like, I'm dead for 10 minutes. Like,
right. Man. So overall, I think you rated the movie a little bit higher than me. This is the first time we haven't been almost exactly on. I think you were like a little bit lower than me on Ant-Man, and this one you're a little bit higher than me. So, but like
I said, if it wasn't for the continuity and canceling other things and all this crap that's kind of happening in the background of DC, if it wasn't for that stuff, it would have scored that 8 for me, but it kind of brought it down to that 6.5 range.
Yeah, I would have. I think it was the as much as I don't want to be like swayed by the situations surrounding it, I think that brought it down. But like my start, like I was already at like 6-ish, just with like the CG stuff, the Billy Shazam
I definitely didn't think the CG was that, but like it didn't like nothing caught my eye with the CG to be like, that's some horse poop. You know what I'm saying?
But like the Shazam Billy thing, between the interaction between the two Shazams and Billy or whatever, and I don't know. It was just I think it just started ticking down for me. I don't know. And then,
I really like Freddy, the actor for Freddy, the dude from It.
The Shazam Freddy or like Kid Freddy?
Kid Freddy.
Oh, okay.
The Kid Freddy.
Oh, he's in It?
Yeah, he's Eddie.
You've talked to me about this like 4 times, and you just registered that you said It. I don't know why I've been thinking like Addams Family this whole time.
No. So like when I was saying something earlier,
I was thinking of Wednesday.
You said his best friend Billy, and I was like, see, this is the part that throws me off, because in this movie his name is Freddy, and his best friend is Billy, but in It, his name is Eddie, and his best friend is Billy.
Okay.
You know, so I was like, that is throwing me off.
For some reason, that just triggered Addams Family for me this whole time. I don't know if you saw it on camera, but I just had like an epiphany. It just changed my life.
Right. No. Yeah, that's the kid from It.
Yeah,
so I think it's really cool. I've always thought he was hilarious just because of the movie It. And I loved his character in that one. And then when he started doing the Shazam one a couple years ago, in the first one, I thought it was kind of cool. The funny, geeky character. And then when they all got their powers, I was like, ah! You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's also hard with the kids in this one, because kids like physically age faster.
Oh yeah.
And you wanted 2 years to pass, but now 4 years have passed IRL. But you know, they're just like you had the same actors for a lot of it, but they just look different, and there's just different things that came into it.
Nothing you can do too much about it. Apparently it's the same reason why Stranger Things is gonna now have to take like a gap.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
Before we get into all that, another Netflix special.
Yeah.
But man, that's awesome. What do we got next?
Pull list.
There we go. Let's dive on in.
Explosions!
Diving into this week's pull list. Man, we got some heat coming in this week. What's up first up on your pull list?
I don't know. I'm going to tell you about my books, and you decide if they're heat or not.
This week has got me excited, man.
Mine's more cute.
Let's go.
I'm gonna start with it's Jeff.
It's
number
Jeff.
1.
My name is Jeff. My name is Jeff.
So I didn't even know about this character. Marvel has a character named Jeff the Land Shark, which I'm kind of wondering if this is like Marvel's King Shark, but cute. Apparently, he made appearances in West Coast Avengers, a couple issues of West Coast Avengers, and now he's getting his own series. And it was that like cartoony, like cute, colorful cover. So, and it's called It's Jeff.
It's Jeff.
I had to put it on the list.
That's hilarious. And it's by
Jeff.
Marvel?
Yep.
It's Jeff.
Yep, it's Jeff, number
name is
1.
Jeff.
It's Jeff, number 1. Something I'm definitely gonna have to pick up.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna pick up every single issue, every variant.
Yeah, I didn't look at variants. If there are variants, they're definitely on the screen right now. And this is just so funny to me. I had to be on the list.
Do you happen to have the writer or the artist?
I have nothing.
Okay.
I have It's Jeff, number 1.
I have Jeff. I have Jeff. Man, I hope the writer's name is Jeff, and I hope that Jeff goes to CGC and does a signature thing there, because I gotta get.
Well, I think it's from West Coast Avengers, so it's, I don't know. Apparently, they're just like, it's time, Jeff.
It's time. My name is Jeff.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, this is gonna be in my head all night. I gotta go watch
21 Jump Street.
Yeah, 21st.
21st Jump Street.
Yep. Book number 2 up on the pull list. I don't know which one I should do first. Pick 1 or 2.
2.
Oh, Venom Lethal Protector number 2. Dang.
Right.
There we go. Dude, I'm so excited.
Synergy.
I am so stoked on this. So we got this back in the day.
Yeah.
First, this is the one from back in the day, was the first cover of Venom ever.
Okay.
Done by Todd
okay,
McFarlane.
okay.
Todd McFarlane was the first person to draw Venom, which is kind of why I fall in love with Venom and Carnage and all this stuff revolving around Todd McFarlane. And now I don't know exactly how they're gonna tie this in, what kind of storyline this is gonna play, where it's gonna fall in terms of King in Black and stuff like that,
Right,
with Venom
right.
and Eddie and his son.
So is this new?
This is new.
Oh, okay.
This is so the one back in the day, back in the 90s, was Venom Lethal Protector.
Mm-hmm.
This is Venom Lethal Protector 2.
Oh, okay.
Like II, Roman numerals.
Oh,
and
I thought
this
it
is
was
issue
okay,
number
okay,
1.
Okay.
So this is issue number 1 coming out.
It's Venom Lethal Protector 2 1.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I was thrown off a little bit.
Right. I kind of, once I started saying it, I was like, everybody's probably thinking it's
Yeah.
issue number 2. No, this isn't issue number 1. So it's a perfect jumping on point, especially if you're a fan of Venom. There is no way that there is not multiple foil variants of this.
Right.
I mean, you can just kind of tell, we threw the
Right.
picture
Yeah,
up.
they're on the screen right now.
Yeah, you can tell the red, and they're totally going. It's almost paying homage to the first cover of Lethal Protector, and another one that I'm super stoked on. And now, I wasn't old enough. I don't even know if I was alive, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I was born in '98 when the first Lethal Protector came out. I definitely wasn't. Now I get to see it.
Right.
So this is another one of those kind of like one bad day killing joke type of scenarios for me, that it's like, oh,
Yeah.
now I get to see this come out, and I get to collect it brand new
Right.
for myself, instead of trying to find one secondhand, and I can't find one without a without a nick
Right.
or stuff like that. So I'm super stoked.
Yeah, I love Venom. You've been all about Venom. I knew you were picking this one as soon as I saw it coming out. But I was going to pick book number 3 for this one is Clobberin' Time number 1. Did you see this one on the list?
No.
It's Clobberin' Time.
I thought you were just making something up, like a cool little line.
Nope.
That's the title.
This is Clobberin' Time.
Sick.
So apparently Ben Grimm is teaming up with other heroes. And in this one, for issue number 1, the Thing is teaming up with the Hulk.
Dang.
It kind of, this one is another one triggered me on the design. It looks a little bit more cartoony. It almost looks a little bit more like Double Trouble, that kind of same kind of art style. But I'm only looking at the cover so far, so we'll see what the inside pages look like. But Double Trouble is a little bit more, I feel like it's a little bit more kid oriented.
Yeah, reminds me of like the Archie comic style from back in the day.
But like I love that cartoony like style. So you know, going back to like all the Scotty Young stuff and, you know, the way he does stuff, and it's just cartoony. And I like it. And I'm excited to get the Thing and the Hulk together. I think that's going to be great.
That's got to be a good
Yeah,
one.
so I'm excited.
I wonder what Hulk we're going to get.
I don't know. We're about to find out. I'm not going to say we'll see, but we're about to find out.
There you go.
Screw around and find out.
You got to. Right. Oh, boy. All right. I think we're about to dive into book number 4, but before we dive into book number 4, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on, because we're coming at you guys with new videos every Monday and Friday, and a new podcast every single Wednesday.
We got to get the Taco Bell bell.
Oh, seriously.
Bong.
Copyright strike. But make sure you turn that notification bell on, because you guys don't want to be missing out on these pull list podcasts and more.
Right.
So, book number 4, we're diving into Something is Killing the Children, issue number 30. 30. We're 30
Big
issues
3-0.
deep. That is crazy
Big
to me.
3-0.
I feel like I remember when issue 15 was coming out, and that's 15, 16, 17 was right around the time that I started getting into it, because I was a little bit late.
Yeah.
I was a little bit late to it. And now we've doubled it.
Right.
You know,
We got to be getting ready for that second hardcover soon, right?
oh wait,
Hardcover.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, the I don't know. I don't know. I almost want to say that volume, the hardcovers, they do it like volumes.
Yeah, I thought it was
Kinda.
1 through 15.
That's kind of what I thought. So
this one would be, you would think it would be 16 through 30, but
we'll
screw
see.
around and find out.
What I want is the big fat omnibus.
Omnibus, yeah.
Yeah, give me $150 omnibus and I'll get it,
Right,
dude.
right.
Like, no questions asked. I'm 100% down for this.
Put you on the
line.
spot right now. What's the most you're willing to pay for Something's Killing the Children?
A lot more than I would like to admit. All I know is that issue number 1
Truth
just
or
hit.
dare?
Yeah. All I know is that the issue number 1 of Something is Killing the Children just hit $1,400 because of James Tinian joining Netflix.
Okay. All right. I gotta get my copy of that out.
Yeah.
I don't have it.
You probably do.
I might.
I'm not joking. These are books that people picked up that don't realize they have them. And man,
I just picked up random Something's Killing the Children. I didn't read them yet.
There's quite a few different.
I just
keys
started
in there.
picking up variants, and I have no idea which ones I have.
A good cheap one to get now is issue number 13.
Right.
It's a key. I think it's the first appearance of.
Barack Obama.
Yes. No, but it's the first appearance of one of the characters in there, and it's a cheap, affordable key. Not $1,400 for the first Something is Killing the Children, but a good $15 for issue number 13, which is a key.
13.
So we're getting in there, man.
Episode 30. Issue 30.
We're getting there.
Well, pretty soon we're about to be on episodes issues. We're about to be on our own 30 here soon. We got 6 episodes. Thank you for joining us for episode number 24 of Lights, Comics, Action. Make sure to check out the description. Like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the things that you do, and check out the description for free money. When you use our code to sign up for Whatnot, get $10. When you use that link, 10% off Jitterless Energy.
Dubby.gg.
Go Collective Comics at checkout. And until next time, this has been
Collective Comics. We'll see you guys
next time.